Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, a story called The Singing Seashell's Secret began. Princess Peach, a mermaid with a heart as bright as the coral reefs she called home, loved everything sparkly and musical. Her castle, nestled in the heart of the mermaid kingdom, shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. Peach adored dancing with her seahorse friends, who had the most melodious neighs in the sea. One day, while exploring a hidden grotto, a place she had never been before, Peach discovered something extraordinary. It was a seashell, unlike any she had ever seen. It wasn't just pretty, it shimmered with a soft magical glow and hummed with a gentle melody. It was as if it was singing a song only she could hear, filled with a hint of a tune that made her want to draw. "Oh my fins!" she gasped, her eyes wide with wonder. "Where did you come from?" The seashell seemed to respond with a burst of shimmering bubbles, which drifted towards a dark passage she had never noticed before. Peach, always curious, knew she had to follow them. "I must find out where this magical seashell belongs," she thought, her heart filled with a sense of excitement. "It feels like an important mission." With her seahorse friends by her side, Peach followed the trail, her long, flowing hair dancing in the currents. They swam through sparkling kelp forests and past playful dolphins, the shimmering bubbles leading them further and further away from home and into the shadowy depths of the ocean. The trail of bubbles led them towards the shadowy reef, a place known to all the merfolk as a place to stay away from. The shadowy reef was a world away from Peach's sunny coral kingdom. Strange, glowing plants cast eerie shadows, and the sounds were not of music, but of whispers and groans. Here, Peach met the sea witch, a grumpy creature with a voice like the grinding of rocks. The sea witch was surrounded by glowing plants that she seemed to be controlling, and had an evil grin spread across her face. "Well, well, what have we here?" The sea witch cackled, her eyes fixed on the seashell. "That's mine, little mermaid." She stretched out a long, spindly arm, trying to grab the seashell. Peach clutched the shell to her chest, her heart pounding. "No, it's not," she declared, puffing out her chest. "It's a friend," she exclaimed. The sea witch was infuriated. She was not used to being told no. She waved her hand and a dark cloud swirled around Peach. "Give it to me or you'll be sorry." Peach knew she was in trouble. She had heard stories about the sea witch's dark magic and how she could turn mermaids into seaweed. Remembering the tales of superheroes, she knew she had to be brave. "Never!" she shouted, and as the dark cloud came closer, she rubbed the seashell, hoping it would work some sort of magic. Suddenly, the seashell began to play a jaunty tune. It was a song that made her want to move and dance and sing, a sort of melody that played music in her heart, a magical song that seemed to push the dark cloud away. The sea witch screeched in annoyance. "Stop that awful noise," she yelled. Peach, seizing the opportunity, quickly swam away, the jaunty tune filling the underwater tunnels with sound. She had to escape the shadowy reef and protect the singing seashell. The chase was on. Peach darted through underwater tunnels, past giant kelp forests, and around treacherous rocks. The sea witch pursued her, her dark magic trailing behind like a sinister shadow. As Peach swam, she realized the seashell could play any type of music. She made the seashell change from one type of music to another, and created a wild circus-like tune that spun the sea witch around in circles, temporarily disorienting her. Finally, exhausted, Peach found herself at a hidden cove, where the shimmering bubbles began to originate. Within the cove, she discovered that the seashell wasn't just a shell, it was a key. It fit perfectly into a giant ancient conch shell. When she placed the seashell inside, the conch shell began to glow, and a beautiful melody filled the air, a sound of pure, forgotten music. The music spread through the reef, chasing away the shadows and restoring the vibrant colors. It was as if the whole reef was coming back to life. The dark, glowing plants lost their ominous glow, and the whispers turned into sweet, harmonious singing. The sea witch, who had followed Peach, watched in amazement. The music seemed to be changing her heart. The grumpy look on her face softened, and she started to sway to the music. Peach, seeing this, smiled and swam towards the sea witch. "It seems like the reef was sad, and the music was gone," Peach said. "But now, we can fix it." With the sea witch's help, they worked together to make the music even more beautiful, weaving harmonies and melodies into the song. The sea witch, using her knowledge of the reef, guided Peach to the right spots, and together, they healed the reef completely. Soon, the shadowy reef was no longer shadowy. It was a place of joy, music and friendship, full of color and life. The once grumpy sea witch, now filled with joy and happiness, had a change of heart. To celebrate, the sea creatures organized a grand concert. Peach and her seahorse friends danced and sang, their voices blending with the music of the reef. The sea witch, with a shy smile, even joined in, revealing a beautiful singing voice. They all realized the true value of working together and the joy of friendship. The singing seashell had not only found its home, but had also brought harmony and happiness to all. From then on, the shadowy reef was no longer a place to fear, but a place of music, laughter, and friendship. Peach, the brave and kind mermaid, had shown everyone that even the grumpiest hearts could be filled with joy when they opened to kindness and the magic of music. Let's see what a great listener you are. Can you answer the following question? Why did the sea witch want the seashell? Let's see how you did. The answer is, for her own selfish purposes and dark magic. You did a great job. Thank you for listening to Story Pie. I hope to see you again soon.